Right, so this is where we last left off, right? We already finished journalizing for the 18th for the sales. So here on May 20th, we end up purchasing more inventory, okay? And this time we purchased 400 mugs at $2.80 each, with the freight costing $80, okay? And of course, we place it on an account from Cuppies Co. Terms are 5%, 15 net 30. So once again, it is May 20th. We purchased 400 mugs at $2.80 each. Okay? So let's journalize this. Okay? How do we journalize our purchases? Purchase expense and freight expense.
Accounts payable.
And accounts payable. Good. Right? And it's May 20th. Right? So in this case, I purchased 400 mugs at $2.80. Okay? With a freight of 80. So, what is my total purchase expense here if I purchase 400 mugs at $2.80 each?
$1,120.
$1,120 plus $80 worth of freight gives me a grand total of $1,200. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pop this into my inventory worksheet. Okay, that on May 20th, we purchased 400 units at $2.80 with a freight of 80, which we already know to be $1,120 plus 80, $1,200. So in this case, what is going to be my cost per item here? $3 even. Good. Okay. So, right, let's go ahead and see what else happened next. Okay. So I journalized it and then I put in my inventory worksheet. So here we are going to record another sale of 30 mugs at $9.99 each for cash. Okay, same day, May 20th. Okay. So May 20th, we sold 30 mugs for $9.99 each for cash. So it is May 20th, and we sold for cash. So if I sold 30 mugs for cash, right, for $9.99 each, what is my total sales here?
$1,120.
No, $1,120?
Yeah.
We are not purchasing.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so in this case, we sold 30 mugs at $9.99. $299.70. And how much tax are we going to be collecting? $24.73. So in grand total, we should be receiving $324.43. Okay. So then May 22nd rolls around. Customer B decides to pay in full with cash. Okay, so customer B decides to pay in full with cash on the 22nd. So let's take a look, okay? When did we sell to customer B? We sold to him on the 12th of May, right? Okay. Now, in this case, what happened was 3 days later, customer C decided to return half of his mugs. So in this case, we actually, realistically, we only sold 30 mugs to customer B, okay? However, let's take a look here. What else did I give customer B?
Can you repeat the question?
What else did I give customer B?
The terms?
We gave customer B terms, 10% discount if he pays within 10 days. So, upon his purchase on May 22nd, he has 10 days to make a discount. In this case, he decides to pay on the 22nd of May. So did he make the discount or did he not make the discount? Or did he miss it?
What was the other date?
So he purchased it on May 12th and we gave him terms 10%, 10 net 30.
And then it was May 22nd.
May 22nd is when he paid.
So, yes.
Yes, he made the discount here because, right, we gave him 10 days. 10 days after the 12th is the 22nd. So in this case, he got lucky and he ended up paying for this amount. However, he ended up returning half of his stuff. So let's actually figure out how much does he actually owe me, okay? So in this case, let's see. How much does customer B actually owe me? It's May 22nd, okay? And how did customer B pay? He paid with cash, okay? So let's go ahead and determine, right, what was the total amount of his accounts receivable? One more. Okay. So let's see. If on May 12, right, we originally sold to him 60 mugs for a total of $648.85, right? But he ended up returning 30 of those mugs, giving him a refund of $324.43. So in grand total, he owes me $324.42. Okay? And we also know that he met the discount due date. So therefore, we're going to recognize that he is going to get a discount. So that's the first thing we're going to recognize here is the sales discount. Now in this case, right, what amount am I going to be discounting if he owes me $324.42?
10%.
10% of what?
$299.70.
$299.70, right? Because in this case, right, we can only take a discount off of the original price. So in this case, right, let's see, let me go find his thing again. So if, since right here for the return, right, if you return 30 of those mugs at $9.99 is $299.70. So you can only take a discount off of this, right? The tax, you cannot discount the tax. So in this case, we got $299.70, right, is going to be the total amount that I am going to be discounting, 10%, okay? So let's go ahead and calculate that. Equal round, right? 10% of $299.70 is going to give me what's 10% at
997.
$29.97. Okay? Now, because we're discounting this amount, right? What else do we need to also give back?
Sales tax.
Yes, because in this case, we charged the sales tax already on the full amount, okay? And because he's getting a discount, therefore we need to adjust the tax as well because he can't discount the tax, but also because he received a discount, you have to give him the money of the portion of the money of sales tax back to him. So in this case, how much tax am I giving back to customer B?
$2.47.
$2.47. So therefore, how much in grand total is customer B going to pay me?
$32.44.
Definitely more than that. Right now, customer B owes me $324.42.
$291.98.
$291.98. Good. All right. And the note that I want to make here saying is customer B paid in full. Okay. All right. Paid in full. Received 10% discount. All right. Good. All right. And then that very same day, after we received a payment, right, we also end up selling 15 mugs for $9.99 cash. So in this case, you sold 15 mugs for cash. Okay. May 20th, right? We sold 15 mugs. So therefore, what's my total amount of sales if I sold 15 mugs for $9.99? $149.85. Okay, how much tax am I going to be collecting? $12.36. So therefore, I should be receiving $162.21 of cash. Okay. So let's see what happened next. May 25th, right? We end up having a Memorial Day sale. So you have a sale for Memorial Day. All mugs are 30% off discount, okay? And at that day, you sold a total of 175 mugs, okay? So we got a sales discount. So what do we do here? How do I record this? On May 25th. And I sold it for cash. Okay? And it's a 30% discount.
Cash.
We received cash. Okay? What else do we need to recognize?
Sales discount and allowance.
Just sales discount.
Oh.
Good. What else?
Is it just sales?
You have to recognize that you sold something. And what do you need to charge?
Sales tax.
Okay. So let's go ahead and figure this out. I sold 175 mugs, right? What's the price, the original price for each mug? $9.99. So in this case, 175 times $9.99. What's my total grand amount of sales? Okay, 1748.25. Now, I need to apply the discount because this is what the original price was. Now, I need to calculate what 30% of that is, right, for my discount. So, what is 30% of 1748.25?
524.48. 74.
Yep, 48. So in this case, 52448. Okay. So in this case, now I need to figure out how much tax. Am I going to be taxing at the full amount or the discounted amount? Discounted amount. So in this case, I need to figure out what this amount is. In this case, I got $1223.77, and that's the amount of tax I'm going to be collecting off of. So in this case, what's my tax going to be?
$43.27.
No. This is $1,223. You might have done on the $500.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We're looking at the discounted amount, not the discount itself. You can do, if you figure that out, right? You need to figure out the tax for the regular amount and figure out the tax for the discounted amount and subtract the two to get the difference. You could do it that way too. But in this case, I took my discounted amount. So I took 17 minus the 524. And so I end up 1223. And I multiplied the tax based on the discounted amount to get me a total of $196. So in this case, what is the grand amount of cash that I should be collecting?
$196.
That's the tax. Okay, so that's the tax plus what?
$524.
Not 5, that's the discount.
Plus the 1748.25, which would be 1849.21.
That's the full sales price of my original. So no, you wouldn't be adding that.
The 1223.77 plus the 196.
Correct.
So 1324.73.
1324.73. Now, that's if you want to figure it out because remember, you have the original amount, right? You're going to subtract the discount out to get you $12.23, right? You're going to add the tax of $100 to get you $13.24, right? In this case, you can also do your simple equation here where you need to figure out your debits must match your credit. So in this case, you could add up your credits and subtract your debits here to get you to 1324.73. So that's just another shortcut too. But in this case, remember, we're looking at a sales discount in the store, right? We need to figure out what it originally cost. We need to minus the discount, and then we get the discounted amount, and then we tax the discounted amount, and then that's the amount of money that you're going to be collecting is whatever the discounted amount is plus the tax on it. Right? All right, and I need to make a note here saying that this was a Memorial Day sale. Okay. 30% discount. And then you sold 175 mugs. Okay. So then let's see what has happened next. So that was the 25th. 28, right? 28 says that customer C wants to buy all 50 black mugs from you, all right? And because he's buying off the items that you didn't want in the first place, you decide to give him an additional 10% discount off of those items. And he ended up paying with a Visa credit card. Right? So let's review that again. Customer C wants to buy out all your black mugs. So maybe he came to the store and he was like, do you have another color? And we said, yes, we have black. He goes, perfect. I'll take everything that you have. So in this case, we sold all 50 black mugs. And because he got rid of the inventory that we didn't want, we offered him an additional 10% discount off of them. And he paid with a Visa credit card. Right? So, how do I journalize this?
Accounts payable.
Not accounts payable. He did not pay. He's not owing the vendor money. Remember, accounts payable is when we owe the money. What does a Visa credit card do for a customer? it doesn't give them, okay. All right, in that perspective, yes, it gives them credit to give them spending power, right?
Sales.
Okay, yes, we are going to be recognizing sales. Okay. But what does a credit card do?
Makes purchases.
It makes purchases, okay, but in this case, a customer used it to pay us, right?
Yes.
So in a sense, do they owe me money?
No.
No, they don't owe me money at all because they use the credit card. So what does the credit card act as?
Accounts receivable.
Not accounts receivable. They don't owe me money.
Cash.
It acts as if it's cash, right? As if the customer had money and they paid me. But in this case, I'm not receiving cash. Where does the money actually go? All right, when they give me their credit card, am I actually receiving cash from them? Where does the money go?
To the business.
How?
Account.
What kind of account?
Revenue.
Not a revenue account. Okay. They're trying to pay me for the stuff, right? They're not giving me cash. So if they're charged on their credit card, where does the money go?
Accounts payable.
No. We're not we are the person that's supplying the items to them. Okay? If they are giving me a form of payment that's not cash and I charge that card, where does that money go? This is a very, very straightforward. Where does the money go?
In the bank.
It goes to the bank. Excellent. So there you go. Therefore, the money is going to go straight to your checking account because it's a form of payment and they're using a credit card to pay for the items in advance. So that means the customer owes the credit card company, not us.
We were making that harder than what it was.
Exactly, right? Where does the money go if he's not really giving me cash and he's paying me for something, right? Where does it go? So we'll talk about credit cards when we dive into chapter 9, okay? So when we do allow our customers to charge on their credit card, it goes straight and wires the money straight to our checking account, right? And of course, right, what else are we going to be recognizing? We gave him a discount, right?
Sales discount.
Yes, sales discount. And we sold to him 50 of those mugs, right? And of course, we got to charge sales tax. So in this case, I'm going to make my note now. Sold 50 black mugs to customer C for a 10% discount. Okay. You don't need to make a note that he paid with a Visa credit card, right? Straightforward, just going to the checking. So in this case, right, let's record his actual sales, right? What do we charge our mugs at? What's the original price? $9.99, okay? So in this case, we charged him $499.50. Now, question here says, or next question is, we gave him a 10% discount. So how much out of that $499.50 is going to be discounted? $49.
95.
$49.95 is going to be discounted. So therefore, it's at 449.55 is the actual price now. So how much tax am I going to be collecting off the discounted amount? $37.09. So therefore, how much money is going to go into my checking account?
Okay, this step is where I got confused on the last one.
Okay.
So it's 449.55
Mm-hmm.
minus 49.95.
No. It's 449.55, right? That's the price that it is right now. You're gonna just add tax to it.
So the 37.
Yes. You're just gonna add those two together.
Okay, because the other one, the one we did before, that one was like an extra step where I think I added instead of subtracting.
So in this case, right, the way that we look at in our account is going to definitely look different than what it would look like on our receipt, right? So again, let's go ahead and do the same exact example, but in a receipt form, right? So what you're normally going to see here on a receipt is you got your sales, right? You got your sales, which was the total amount of, what was it? The 50 mugs at $9.99, right? What you're going to see on your receipt too is then you're going to have the line item that says you got your sales discounted, right? Which is going to subtract, right? So here equal round. It's going to subtract the discount. So in this case, I'm going to say negative 10% times this number up here, right, is going to be subtracting out $49.95. So here you're going to get your subtotal amount, okay, which is going to be
486.64.
oh, wait, sorry. In this case, you're going to get the discounted amount, right? This is your discounted amount. Now, after you get the discounted amount, then it's going to charge you the tax, right? Sales tax of 8.25%, right? Which is going to add to your total amount. Right, of $37.09. So then at the end of your receipt should give you your grand total, right, of these two numbers added together, which gives you the 486.64, which you just solved for. So in this case, right, this is what a receipt would look like. But in the journal wise, right, we must go in order by putting our debits first, right, and our credits last. In this case, we have to do it this way because in our books, that's what the accounting rule tells us. It tells us that we must separate our debits with our credits, right? And we must organize our debits first and then do our credits last, okay? So we have to kind of work a little backwards into this, right? That's why I make you solve for the sales first. then make you solve for the discount, then make you solve for the tax, then what is the total amount that I'm going to be collecting? Okay, so we're going back and forth between here. But if you actually look at a real receipt, this is what the real receipt would look like. So what you actually are taking a look here is that when you solve for what the total amount that you're looking for is, it's going to be the discounted amount plus the tax. Straightforward. Okay? Now, if you use the rules of debits equaling your credits, right, then that's where you could say, well, I'm going to add up my total credits, right, and subtract my debits to get me the same exact answer of the $486.64, right? Because think about it. I'm going to add up my two totals here for my credits of $499.50 plus my tax of $37.09, but I'm going to subtract my discount amount of $49.95, which should give you the same exact number. Okay? But there's other ways that you can solve for this that makes it a better way to understand it. In this case, if you just think of it that way, right? If you're doing the debits equal the credits, then you just add up your columns, right? And subtract the two because your debits must equal your credits, okay? Instead of having to think of it looking at a real receipt where you're trying to figure out what is the amount that you're going to pay at the end of the day, right? If you do that, you have to do it in this order, right? Sales first, minus the discount, plus the tax. How much money are you actually going to get out of this sale? Okay. All right. Does that clarify?
Yes, thank you.
All right. So now that we have that, right, and we got the sale, okay. So let's see what happened next. At the end of May 30th, right, you paid off all 3 bills that you owe to Cuppy's Co. all on one check. Okay, so we are going to pay all 3 of these bills. Okay, so we've made our first purchase on May 1st, but we end up returning on May 5th. Okay. We made our second purchase on May 8th, but we end up getting an allowance, okay, for that on May 8th. And then last purchase that we made was May 20th, okay, but we did not have any returns on this, okay? So therefore, those are all 3 of the purchases that we made. Now let's clarify this here, where we need to make sure, did we meet the discount due dates? Okay, so let's take a look at my very first batch of inventory that I purchased. I was given 15 days to pay to receive the discount. In this case, if I'm making a payment on May 30th, right, which is the end of the month, which is when the actual bill is due, right, because May 1st, they gave me 30 days to pay, which means it's due on June 1st, right, because there's only 30 days in May. Actually, there's 31 days in May. So in this case, it's due on the 31st of May, which is fine. But in this case, did I make my discount due date? If I purchased on May 1st and I'm given 15 days to meet the discount, but I made a payment on May 30th. No, I already missed it, right? So that means whatever amount that I owe here is what I'm going to pay. What about May 8th? I also was given an additional 15 days to pay, but I paid on the 30th. No, right? I missed this one too because in this case, 15 days after the 8th is going to be the 23rd. In this case, I did miss my discount due date here. So I end up paying for whatever I owe for May 8th. Okay? And my last purchase here on May 20th, did I end up making a discount?
Yes.
Yes, because my discount due date was in 15 days. I paid within 10. So therefore, I need to calculate my discounted amount for my purchase discount for the purchase made on May 20th. Okay? So let's go ahead and try to journalize what we know. What we know to be true. Okay? We know to be true that on May 30th, right, we're going to make a payment to everything that we owe. So in this case, I'm going to reduce what I owe. That's the first thing I need to recognize. Okay? I'm going to recognize that I also have a purchase discount because I received one of the discounts on one of those days. And last but not least, I need to pay them, and I said that I was going to pay them using one check number 201. Okay? So in this case, let's go ahead and figure out how much is the grand total that I owe. Okay? So starting with May 1st, right, my original purchase was the 500 units, the 500 mugs, okay, which got me a grand total of $14.25. However, I end up returning $39.75, right? But then on May 8th, right, I end up making another purchase of 250 units, right, which increased my accounts payable by $737.50. However, I end up well, in this case, I end up getting an allowance for $20.63. Okay. And then, of course, my last batch of inventory that I purchased was on May 20th, which increased my accounts payable by another $1,200. Okay. So that should give me a grand total of $3,302.13 that I owe to Cuppy's Co. Okay? All right. However, we also recognize that for the last purchase that we made, right, we end up getting a discount because we paid within the due date. So in this case, I should be receiving a purchase discount. Now let's take a look at this transaction on May 20th, okay? What number can I actually discount?
1,100.
I can only discount my original purchases, which was 1,120, okay? Now, in this case, the discount that was given to me is 5%. So, what is 5% of 1120?
56.
$56. So, therefore, how much money am I going to be actually paying Cuppy's Co.?
$3,246.13.
Good, right? Because in this case, I'm not paying for everything, right? Because I received a 5% discount on the very last batch I ordered. So therefore, because I'm making the payment, right? The terms are conditioned. I have to meet the circumstances in order to receive the discount. So in this case, that's exactly what I do. And because I've received the discount, I'm paying him $56 less. So therefore, $3,246.13 is what I'm going to pay. All right? And of course, I'm going to make my note here saying that I'm paying Cuppy's Co. Okay? For purchases on May 1st, okay, May 8th, and May 20th, okay? And I'm going to also recognize that I received a 5% discount on May 20th purchases. Okay. And I paid all of it on one check number 201. Okay. Now, I received a purchase discount. I got a portion of my money back because I end up paying for my last batch $56 less. So what do I need to do with that? I'm going to go to my inventory worksheet because that is part of a returns allowance / discounts. So in this case, because I got discounted, that means I didn't return anything, right? And the discount is based off of this last batch of $2.80, okay? Now in this case, right, we want to know what the discount amount is, which we said, right, is going to be whatever the purchase price is, which was the $1,200, right? But we can't discount the freight. So therefore, we're discounting the $1,120, right? And we're discounting that by 5%, which we already figured out to be $56. So therefore, this very last batch of inventory, right, we paid at a discounted amount. So in this case, we still purchased 400 units. However, we discounted it by $56. So in this case, take my $1,200 minus my $56 to get me a grand total of $1,144 even. So therefore, what is going to be my cost per item here? Because now my values are discounted. What's my cost per item here? $2.86. Okay, close. So then let's take a look at what my last scenario says. That at the end of May 30th, I should have a grand total of 700 units on hand. All right, so let's go ahead and we reach the end of our scenario here. So let's tally up our totals, figuring out what is my total amount of purchases. Okay, so let's see, 500 plus 250 plus 400 gives you 1150. Okay, I'm gonna highlight this for you guys so you know these are all calculations. Give me just a let's make this blue. Okay. So I purchased 1,150 units. What's my total purchase price?
$3,132.50.
$3,132.50. What's my total freight? $230. Okay, giving me a grand total cost of $3,362.50. Okay, here I need to solve for my total goods available and my total returns and allowances. Okay. Okay. So in this case, how many goods available do I have? How many mugs?
$11.35.
1135, okay? I'll go ahead and solve this one for you, giving you a total cost of 3246.12. How many items did I return? 15. And what was my total amount of refunds?
Yeah.
Yep, 116 and 38. Excellent. So now let's go ahead and solve for our columns here on the left. So let's see, what was my total purchases? I purchased 1,150 units at a total of 3132. My returns, I end up returning 15 units, but I'm getting a grand total refund of $116. So therefore, I have 111.35 units left at a total cost of 1016.12, right? But freight doesn't add to quantity, but it adds to total cost. So I need to also add in my number of units, or here are my number of freight here to get me a grand total of 3246.12, which is my total goods available, right? In this case, that's because my beginning inventory, I don't have any beginning inventory. And if I carry the values that I calculated from above, right, my net purchases becomes my goods available. Okay. We were also given that we had 700 units on hand. So that means we must have sold a total of how many units? How many units did we end up actually selling?
435.
435 units. So let's go ahead and solve here what 435 units are going to be. So equals sum here. I'm going to create my running balance. Okay. Okay. I'm going to create my cost of goods sold table. So, if you remember from the very beginning, I've mentioned that your inventory is periodic and it is LIFO. So, in this case, I need to sell 435 mugs. So, in this case, using the rules of LIFO, which batch am I going to sell from first?
It's LIFO.
LIFO, yes.
First and first out.
Last in, first out. So let's take a look.
400.
LIFO. Okay, last in, first out.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
No worries. So in this case, we're going to take out the 400, right? Since we're going to take out all of it, right, we know it's going to be for the $11.44. Okay, so therefore, we can get rid of this here. Okay. Now, how many more do I need to keep selling to get to 435?
35.
So in this case, I need to solve for my items, right? So in this case, it's going to cost me $2.8674. So since I'm not taking all of it, I need to calculate this. So in this case, What is my grand total cost of goods sold for selling 35 units at $2.86748?
$136.
136 cents. Good. So that gives me a grand total cost of goods sold to be 1,244.36 cents. So therefore, my ending balance should equal
2001 with 76.
2001.76. So again, if you chose to solve for the ending balance, right? Right? If you follow the rules of LIFO here, you're gonna know that that means my last batches are gonna be sold first. That means my ending balance should be the very beginning that I started out with, okay, and a portion of this. So whatever this minus to get to 700. So in this case, 215 is what I need to get at to equal my total of 700 units. Okay. And of course, I also need to figure out, right, since I'm going to be copying my numbers down here, right, if I copy this, this for sure is carried down, and then this for sure is going to be calculated, right? You're going to get this amount, and this is going to be an equal round, right, to get you 6, 16, 15, which should give you your 2001.76 cents. Okay, whichever way that you solve for it, at the end of the day, this is what your outcome is going to be. Okay. So now that I have this, last but not least, I need to do my conversion entry. I need to convert my purchases into inventory. Okay, so let's go ahead and figure out what I need to put here. So it is May 30th. Okay, what should I be recognizing?
Purchase expense.
Purchase expense is going to be one of them, yes. But that's not going to be until it's going to be credited because we are going to be doing a conversion. Okay. What else do I need to recognize?
Inventory?
You need to recognize the inventory, which in this case, I was specific. I purchased mugs. What else do I need to recognize?
Cogs.
COGS, which is cost of goods sold. What else? What else do I need
Freight.
to? Freight. Okay. And what else?
Net purchase.
Okay, how about we just solve for what we have and then we'll figure it out from there, okay? So in this case, what was the total amount of your ending inventory?
$2,176.
Okay. What was the total amount of your cost of goods sold?
$1,344.36.
Okay. What was the total amount of your original purchases?
$3,132.50.
Okay. And what was your total amount of freight? $230. So let's go ahead and do my little test here. Okay. I have a total of $3,246 debit versus a $3,362.50 credit. So in this case, let's test to see what the difference is. My difference is $116.36. Where do we see that number?
Discount and allowance.
Discount and allowances. So in this case, I have to keep them separate because that's exactly how I journalized it as well, right? I journalized it that I had a purchase discount for $56 and then I had a purchase returns and allowances for the other amount. So I need to separate these because that's exactly how I journalized it. So we're missing a purchase returns and allowances and a purchase discounts. Okay. Since we already know what the purchase discount was, it was $56. So therefore, my remaining amount is $60.38, right? Which we could solve for by going to our inventory worksheet, right? Which amounts are actually my returns and allowances versus my discounts. So in this case, my return was $39.75 plus $20.63, which should give you your total of that 60 and 38 cents. Okay? So therefore, that's it. And then I need to add my little statement here saying this was a conversion entry for periodic purchases, inventory purchases. Okay? Any questions in regards to the chapter 5 and 6 exercise?